Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Bastian. Bastian is from Vienna in Austria. So let's see what Bastian has to say. Enjoy the interview.
Hello.
Hello Bastian, how are you?
Good. Exhausted a little bit, but good.
Thank you so much for taking the time for the interview this evening. Thanks very much, appreciate.
Sure.
So tell me, how's your day been so far? You've been very busy.
I was at work. I'm a teacher. Then what did I do then? I was also at the gym. I had some political calls. I'm also a politician or wannabe politician. So yeah, it's always pretty busy.
Good. I think it's good to be busy, isn't it? If your day more creative, your day is more filled up with things to do, I believe.
Yeah, of course. No, I mean, I'm somebody who just wants to be busy, who always needs to,
Good.
be around people, and it doesn't mean that I don't enjoy, my private time, but I like being busy, I would say.
Very good. Very good. Welcome to the club. Me too. I love being busy. Bastian, am I saying your name right? Bastian?
Yes, indeed. So in German, it would be Bastian. My American friends call me Bastian, so it doesn't matter.
As you say, so you are a teacher and a politician as well. Tell me a little bit about your career.
Oh wow. Well, I actually studied medicine. That's how I started. Then my life took some turns, and I did graduate from med school. But just realized I wanted to do something else. So I did a master's in European politics, and I ended up in Brussels and got politicized. And through a party friend, I became a teacher because there's this amazing program that is called Teach for Austria. It's called, in the UK, it's Teach for All. I think there is also Teach for America. Anyway, they're like, operating in several countries. And
Right.
that's how I became a teacher.
See, I was checking a little bit your profile, and this it's a non-profit organization, isn't it? This teaching.
It's a social
Teach for-
enterprise. So Teach for Austria or Teach for All, they're it's non-profit, but they have actually like really a good corporate identity, like it's really like a corporation, it's really like a big company, run pretty professionally. So it's not the typical NGO, I would say.
Okay.
But anyways, it's super professional, and they bring non-pedagogues into schools, and I've enjoyed it so far. I even requested that I'm prolonged as a teacher, so I hope to still be a teacher next year. And yeah, I hope it works out.
Amazing. I'm sure it's going to work out the way you wanted it, because I can see how much you enjoy what you do. That's what matters. And Bastian, tell me, where are you from?
So I'm from Vienna. I was born and raised here, and I studied here. I did move to Belgium for 2 years. I did some internships in Germany and the US, but primarily I've lived in Vienna, and I really do love my city. It's a great place. Have you been?
No, actually, I told you before. When I told you that's I have a very good friend of mine who I never met before. Actually, just became 2 years, 2 days ago, that we've been in touch for the very first time, and he's the one who created the name William the Magic Box. Manfred, if you're watching, hello. So yeah, Manfred is a lovely friend. I haven't met him yet. We've been in touch a lot, and we're gonna go. So far, because my birthday is in November, so I invited him to go to Portugal. So I'm organizing a group of friends to go to Portugal in November, and I invited him. And so far, he said yes. So I'm looking forward to meet him for the very first time, and I can't wait to come to Vienna as well to visit. I haven't been there yet, and but I'd like to come soon. My flatmates just been there 2 months ago, I think, and they loved it. They were like, "Oh my God, really? It's a nice place to be." So I can't wait. I can't wait to come there, to go to Vienna, and explore a little bit about it.
Yeah, you know, it's been ranked the most livable city for many years in a row, and it's true. It's a pretty cool place to live at, and yeah, it's a lovely city, good architecture, good restaurants and bars,
Mhm.
a lot of culture,
Yeah.
and yeah. But I do have a question. What is your birthday? Because you said November.
Yes. Don't tell me you're November as well.
Yes,
Oh my God. Let's work it out. Okay. I'm 17 of November.
8.
Ooh. Close.
Are you
And
still a
huh?
Scorpio then? Are you still a
Scorpio.
Scorpio then? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Scorpio as well. You're Scorpio as well. Scorpio is the end of October, and oh, so you're gonna speak the same language then?
Well, if you believe in it, you know. Huh?
Absolutely. I think there is a lot of actually. Before we start the interview, I started dating an interview from someone from America who is a professional astrologer. She's a professional astrologer. We talk a lot about star signs, and in the end, when I do the word association game, I did with her with all the signs for her to say one word for all the star sign. It was amazing. I'm gonna make like a teaser video so people can watch it before the interview goes live. I like astrology. I think it says a lot about ourselves, about our personality, about the way we behave. You know what I mean? Of course, not always the same, but there's some connection. There's some big signs of your personality regarding your star sign. Bastian, tell me what's the best part of waking up in Austria, in Vienna? What's the best part of, okay, you feel like, my God, I'm so grateful, lucky to wake up in Vienna because.
Because it doesn't take you long to go anywhere in the city. So you know, I'm a person who doesn't wake up early. So I really like that it only takes me 20 minutes to work because public transport is so amazing.
Wow.
And I can be, you know, even if I wake up late, I will still make it on time to work. And that is important because I am supposed to be a role model. So
That's funny. And so all your family, they live in Vienna as well?
yeah, my family is from Vienna. I do have some Hungarian and Italian ancestry,
Okay.
but you know, the main part of my family is from Vienna. My parents actually moved to the countryside, so they're 1 hour away from Vienna.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm a Viennese city kid.
Let's say when I come to Vienna for the very first time, where would be the first place you take me? You go like, okay, you need to see the thing for the very first time when you come to Vienna. What that would be?
It would be St. Stephen's Cathedral. That is the most touristy place, but the good thing about Vienna is that, you know, all the touristy stuff actually is nice. So even Viennese people enjoy doing all the touristy stuff. Maybe not all the touristy stuff, but even we like to visit the palaces and the cathedral and other churches. And Vienna is the oldest Ferris wheel in the world. And, you know, Viennese people still enjoy that, or like taking the horse carriage around the old town. It's still a thing, you know. And so just come to Vienna, and anything you do is gonna be fun. And I'm not joking. Like, I know I'm a local patriot or something, but it is true.
I totally believe you. I think it'll be a good time for sure. For sure. Bastian, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and to share your point of views?
I mean, sure, yeah. Depends on what it is, but I thought you were going on and, you know, already asked the question. But yeah, sure.
Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I have here my best. Full of random fun questions, okay? I'm just gonna play a song now just for us to move a little bit before the first question, okay?
Sure.
Let's do it. Right, Bastian, before we start the game, through the journey, if there is a question that you don't want to talk about for some reason, you don't want to answer, always can change, okay? It's all very friendly, okay?
Sure.
First question for you is, who has been the most influential person in your life and why?
Oh, wow. I do have to give a very cheesy answer, but it is also true. It's my mom.
Oh,
No,
tell me about it.
it is true though, because she has always protected me. And, I just assume, many teenagers go through a lot, and I never had that. I had such a lovely childhood and adolescence where I never had to worry about anything. And, in my early years, she was a single mom with my sister and I, and she just did everything, and even, sacrificed so much.
Mm-hmm.
But my sister and I, we never realized that. So we had such a protected environment and such a, home full of love I don't know. I don't have any bad, or, maybe I do have some bad memories as well, but, such a lovely upbringing that made me a very strong personality, I think.
Amazing. She'll be very happy when she watched the interview and she sees that. She go like, oh my God.
Amazing.
But saying that, what's the biggest difference between you and your mom, and what's the biggest similarity between both of you?
That is a tough one. We are very alike. We're very emotional people, sometimes dramatic. So if we fight, we, try to, but yeah, and where are we not similar? I mean, she did move to the countryside, which is something that I would never, consider doing in my life. But it's lovely out there, and I love being there for the weekend. But I'm just such a city kid, and I enjoy having people around me. Yeah.
Very good. Good one. Let's go for another question. Let's do it. Next question for you, Bastian. If you could be a character in a movie, who that would be and why?
Oof. I'm so sorry for being so cheesy, but my favorite movie is Titanic. And I probably wouldn't pick a specific character, to be honest, or maybe Rose. But anyway, somebody who survives and has a good life. I probably wouldn't throw the heart of the ocean, that necklace. I wouldn't throw it in there. I would probably sell it or to a museum or something. I don't know. I don't know.
Which part of the movie is your favorite one of Titanic?
Actually, the one where the ship breaks apart. It's not for the people dying, because obviously that's bad. But it's just so, so visually very mighty. It's very fascinating. It's like such a big structure, and it breaks. And yeah, I would say that's it.
I'll tell you something now. I went to Canada to visit my best friend for Christmas, this last Christmas, and on the plane from Lisbon to Montreal in Canada, I was checking there were some movies available, and I saw Titanic. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna watch Titanic again. And I was watching it like through the flights. And my favorite part of the movie is when they were walking, in the what do you say, in the on the boat, but like a corridor, but on the deck. They're walking the deck, and he has his art, and she goes like, let me see what's this, and she started looking at, oh, you are quite good actually, and he started asking her personal questions, and he was like, do you love him, like the guy she was engaged, and she was like, beg a pardon, like very English, pardon me, why are you asking this question? It's very rude. I'm not gonna have this conversation with you. I love it. For me, the best part of the movie, when they start to get to know each other, they're so different, and he's very straightforward, and she's very English, very kind of posh, you know what I mean? That's the best part for me.
actually, now that you say it, I think I've never seen the original. I think I've only seen the German version.
Oh, really?
I've seen it like a million times, but I think I've never watched the English one, to be honest. I should do it.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing when they are, and she sounds very English as well, in a very posh way of talking, you know what I mean? Very posh, very class, you know, the way she talks. And he's very down to earth, American, talking a very American accent, and she comes. It's amazing. For me, it's the best part of the movie. But when the ship start going down, I'm not interested anymore. I don't know why, because I know it's going to happen. But until they get to know each other through the movies, I get fascinated. I just get fascinated about the movie. When was the last time you watched it?
It's been way too long. I wanted to watch it, on April 12th, obviously, but I didn't have time because I was on the Easter break, and I think I haven't seen it for a year, so it's about time.
Yeah, next time watch in English for you to see the difference.
I will, I promise.
Yeah. Good. Next question. Let's do it. Bastian, before the next question, tell me, what do you like the most about your job? And of course, there is always a challenging part as well. What that would be of being a teacher?
What I love the most is actually, the moment when you realize, okay, I changed someone's mind, or I taught them something. When you realize that they realized something. I'm working with young adults who are around 15, so they're at a very decisive stage of their life, and you can tell that you really reach them, and that's not always academically. So I mean, if you're an English teacher and they know a new word, that's good, and so on. But so it's ninth grade, and when you see them start when they're 14 and they're like, in the midst of puberty, and then at the end of the year, you see young adults, and they have evolved so much in 1 year, and you have contributed to that. And also that is very cheesy, but it is something that that is very rewarding in a way. Like it's very, you get something back, and that's what I really enjoy about it. Like even if it is tough, and they are cheeky, they talk back, they even insult you, they hit you sometimes. It happens. I don't know if you can see the bruise, probably not.
Oh my God.
Anyway, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day, because you reach them on some level, and it's just, and you contribute to that, and that is something that's just very, I don't know, just it makes you sleep well.
Amazing. And what's the most challenging part besides of them biting you?
The most challenging part is, I would say that and I mean, this is very subjective, and I don't have 20 years of experience, but what I feel also compared to my time in school, I've graduated 10 years ago, is that from high school, that they're not interested in anything anymore. And I feel like, and again, like it's not good to generalize and so on and so forth, but I feel like, modern youth interest in certain things and subjects just has really declined, dramatically declined. And that's also got to do with social media, where the attention span, really lowered, and all they do and have been doing for the past 2 years during the pandemic was being on their phones and swiping up or down and not really challenging anything. Their brains haven't been challenged, and that's something that's really sad to see. But we also try to counter that as good as we can to have interesting classes. And I'm not saying that all my classes are really good and exciting, but I'm trying to at least have one class a week that is really where they believe, and they say like, okay, this is why I go to school.
I was watching an interview the other day, and there was a journalist just saying that nowadays, the technology with the social media, the information, it comes too fast that people, they lost their habits of reading properly the information and adjusting and getting the information itself, because now it's too fast. They just read it and go fast, but they don't take the whole information. And in the past, for you to learn something, you need to read properly, you need to pay attention, you need to get things done. Nowadays, it's too fast, the information. And some people, they can be quick, but some people, they don't. Some people, it's too much information, it's too superficial, you know what I mean?
Yeah. For sure, yeah. And I mean, that's the thing, like the way we consume information has changed a lot in the past years. So I guess also the way of teaching does need to change. And I'm for sure not an expert. Like I'm not even, I didn't even study to become a teacher. So I don't have a background in education, but and I'm sure there is already a lot of work being done. And no, I actually have a friend who has a background in education on the university level. And there is super concepts, but we need to bring them out to schools. And the thing is, especially in Austria, everything is super slow. And as lovely as it is sometimes, and as cozy as life can be here, if it comes to education, we should, speed things up.
I see. All right. Right. I love this question. Send away a message to someone, but you don't need to tell who this message is for.
Horsey loves you.
I love it. You said Horsey loves you.
Horsey loves you. Yes. The person will know.
Amazing. I love it. Very good. Next question. Let's do it. Okay, Bastian from Vienna in Austria. Next question is, where do you want to be in 10 years' time from now?
That is a tough question. Because what I learned in life is that you can never predict where you're going to end up. I mean, like, again, after high school, I studied medicine and now I'm a teacher. I do really love politics though. So I really hope I can stay in politics and, even move further up. And that is going to be hard. I do know that. But if I'm one thing, it's Viennese and European. And I'm really committed to the European project. So if in some way or the other, I can, work towards a more united Europe, this is what I want to be. And I always say this very, very, very easy to, it's very easy to understand to phrase it that way. So I always say I was born in '92 in Vienna, Austria. And on my Wikipedia page, it should say that I has died wherever in the United States of Europe, because this is what I want. And this is what I truly believe in. And this is what I, want to contribute to in my life. And I hope in 10 years, we have really moved forward on European politics and, maybe the United States of Europe are being created in not in 10 years, but, maybe we're setting the stepping stones for that.
Amazing. I love that. Saying that, Sebastian, if one day, would you have the opportunity, or if you've been approached for, for you to be a politician, do you think you'd like to be involved in that, or you just you love politics, but just as an education, or you know what I mean, helping the politician, but not as a politician, if you know what I mean? Would you like to be involved in that?
It's that really depends. Politics is not just being officially elected somewhere. It's ideally yes, because if I hate one thing on the street, because we're campaigning on the street, and so I am just as an explanation. So I'm the international officer of the Austria's liberal youth, and we as young liberals, we campaign a lot for human rights, and we were on the streets for Ukraine. And I hate nothing more than, other activists coming to me, people from Ukraine or even from Russia or from Moldova. And they talk to me and they're like, oh, you're a politician, so what can I do? And all I can say is, you should write this or that parliamentarian, because they will listen to you. And this is fine for some time, but for me, I want to be the one. I want to be the one to actually speak for them in parliament or wherever. I want to be the one when they come to me on the street that I tell them, hey, you know what? Yeah, let's just speak. Make an appointment. We talk about it, and I will, raise the issue in parliament or vis-a-vis the foreign minister or whatever. Just really have an impact, and you can have an impact on so many ways, but I just really, I've always had, sounds stupid, but like the urge to help people, but and I really do. And I want to help them directly. I don't want to be, the middleman. I want to be there and help them concretely and directly. So ideally, yeah, obviously, I want to be an elected official on a higher level. But we will see. There's so many ways to bring about change, and we will see. And there's so many ways that I probably just don't even see yet myself.
I'm having the pleasure now to talk to a future politician here on the show. Wow, I can feel that. Very nice, Bastian. Very nice, very nice. I think you have good intentions. I think you can see the way you talk, the way you explain yourself. You're passionate about it, and I can feel it, how passionate about you are. And I think it's amazing to see such a young guy, with this mindset. You're already involved anyway. You're already involved somehow. You're just educating yourself, and see what the future brings to you. I'll be here cheering up for you, okay? For sure. Next question. Bastian, before the next question, tell me, you say that you had experience of living in the US. Tell me a little bit about it. Where was it?
I was still a med student, and I did an internship at a hospital in Orlando, Florida, and I still go there a lot of times. And it was great. It's different. It's different for sure. Just the entire healthcare system there is significantly different than the one in Austria and Europe in general. But it was still a good experience. You just learned many different things. Other therapies, for example, it helped me, learn English and make friends. And what I feel is that also doctors have, not a better reputation, but I think they're viewed as demigods or something there. So that is something that I, even as a med student, appreciated, or that I did enjoy. Like everybody would look up to you, and I don't say that it's not the case in Austria, but it wasn't as intense in a way. So that is something that I did like there. So yeah, and obviously in Florida, I enjoyed the sun. So yeah.
How long were you there for?
It was an entire summer thing. So I don't know, 8 weeks or so. So
okay.
Yeah, quite a bit. And also stayed longer to travel, and yeah.
Perfect. Good one. Right. Do you know anyone who is living their life to the fullest?
Yes, I do. I do know somebody who is living their life to the fullest. A good friend of mine, who in his life has had ups and downs, but at the moment is really in one of his ups and really is enjoying life. And I really enjoy that he is doing that. So it's something where you're just happy for someone else, and that's, in this case, I would say, yeah.
It's great to see our friends living their life the fullest, because we feel like ourselves, isn't it, living their life as well the same way when you have close friends. That's what's amazing. Ready for another one?
Sure, go ahead.
Let's do it. Next question. What do you think are the best traits for a person to have?
Honesty, good intention, and definitely humor, and especially self-irony. Like if you can't laugh about yourself, you can't laugh about anything. Like, no, that's not true. But it's just something that is so likable. And what I learned is that you can always take your work seriously, but not yourself. And that's just something that's always good to connect with people. If you know that they're not taking themselves too seriously, you can always, there's some sort of base to start talking or whatever and work together. it's actually something that I enjoyed when I was working at the European Commission. So something that hopefully someday will be the European government. So I was at the unit, and it was actually a pretty important one. It was the one with the rule of law, so super important. And they really didn't take themselves too serious. Like the work, what they did was amazing, but the first thing that my boss said, so it was in French, but he said we addressed each other with tu, not vous. So it was basically the informal version of you, and that was great. Like that is like a really high civil servant, and he automatically is on the same level as you. Like he's not arrogant. He's trying to be like you. Like obviously he's still your boss, but he's not playing that card. And that's something that's even very motivating, especially for a young aspiring either civil servant or politician. That does a lot with you, because you can that's also, you can see that there's a good role model who doesn't I don't know how to phrase it, but who doesn't become arrogant or
use his power of autonomy, using his posture, his power to behave the way, to make people. But he doesn't separate, the students of himself. He's involved as well. He's saying that I had a teacher from Canada, actually, a teacher, and he told me in the interview, said, William, I don't have a desk in my class. I come to my class and I sit with my students. I don't have a desk. I don't want them to see, okay, I'm here, your teacher, I'm a mentor. I'm sitting with them. I give the class, I'm there around them, but I don't have a table. I sit with them. I found so interesting to hear that, because it's amazing to see, I think the students appreciate that as well.
Yeah, I mean, we do have some teachers, at least sometimes, that they don't have like the proper order of desks and so on, that they change it and make it a circle to make it more equal. Yeah. And but it depends on the teacher and from class to class. But I mean, what I do is I do enjoy my desk, like just having it there, just also to stay organized. But I'm usually never sitting. I'm somebody who's very almost restless, I would say. I'm always walking around class, and I'm also altering my voice a little bit. And my students do make fun of it sometimes, but I know that they're paying attention, because this is what just imagine you're just speaking in a monotonous voice the entire time, and they just drift off. And this is why I'm very present in class, and I try to move a lot, and again, altering my voice and everything. So this is more how I try to connect with them. And my so in Austria you usually have like one main teacher per class. And so class doesn't mean like the subject, but class means like a certain, for the international audience, I want to explain it. So class means it's always the same 25 kids, and that's a class, and you have one main teacher and a secondary teacher. And my colleague and I, like the two of us, are leading that class, and we're not very authoritarian, but I still think it's good for them to know, like, we are the teachers. We're not trying to have the hierarchy like this, more like that, but still that there is a little gap, not too much, but they do need some authority.
I respect it. I have to have this respect as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that exactly. I agree. Next question, Bastian. Let's do it. Where is the Austria moves? I don't see the Austria moves.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not a very dancey person. That's the thing. Like, I'm in the classroom, but I'm not very dancey. You need to be very drunk for that, and that never happens. Not true.
Next question is, what was the last thing that made you smile?
Well, I always smile. So we have this word in German. It's called Grinsekatze. So it's basically Grinsekatze.
Grinsekatze.
Katze. So Katze
Katze.
is cat. So it's the smiling cat or grinning cat. So this is what I am. I always smile, and I'm sometimes afraid that it seems artificial, but I really am just somebody who smiles the entire time for some reason. Maybe it's a mental disorder or something. I don't know, but it's something that I always do. So what made me smile?
Good for you.
So I would say laughing about myself, and that happens all the time. This makes me smile.
Amazing. Good for you. Very good. Right. I have 3 questions left for you. Okay.
Okay.
Let's do it. Don't need to be shy.
I am shy. I know it doesn't seem like it, but I'm actually also a very shy person.
Right. Next question is tough question now. Okay. How do you think you'll die, or how would you like to die if you could choose?
I always said something like jumping off a skyscraper, because at least you're having the adrenaline rush before, but I think that's stupid. And so how would I want to die? Peacefully, I think, just in my sleep, and hopefully not too old, because I really just want to, go with dignity and just, be fit, and then just sleep those off and pass away peacefully, having lived a fulfilled life. And I think that's
good one. Are you afraid of dying, or is something that's never been afraid of?
I'm not, and I can explain why. I have been there when my grandmother died, and like having been in medicine, it's death has always been around, but I've never been there when somebody was dying. So that was my first experience with it. And what I learned in the very final moments, so before that, so she had cancer, and it was, you could tell, okay, this is the end. And then the very last seconds, actually, or a few seconds before she died, her breathing changed. It was very peacefully, and even like the last time she exhaled, it was something very peaceful and almost beautiful, as macabre as it sounds, but it was really very peaceful. And this was like this really took away the fear. It's hard to put it in words, but this really took the fear of dying away. It was so peaceful. And she had been suffering. I know that, and obviously this is not how somebody wants to die, but those very final moments were so, don't get me wrong, but beautiful in a way.
Absolutely. It's you're saying something now as well. I had a doctor on the show from England, and his area, you might help me if I'm wrong, but I don't know the name of the area he works, but he works in the area of medicine when people they are dying. He's the one who, know what I mean, who finds, who confirms.
Yeah. Palliative care. I also worked there in my very last internship, basically.
Right. So he was telling me about it, and actually that's what I like the most about the Matchbox, because the questions are here. I don't select the questions. Questions come like random, yeah. And the question for him was, this question came along to him about dying, and he said to me, William, it's such a fascinating question, because people, I work in this field, yeah. When I see people dying every single day. That's my job. That's my area. And he said to me, it's so in a way it's peaceful to see. You know what I mean? It's sad to see the dear ones, seeing their family, members of the family passing away, but at the same time as well, it's a beautiful moment. It's when they are celebrating life, when they are going to another, you know what I mean? But it was very, very interesting the way he was explaining. I found very, let's say, fascinating the way, because I never seen this way. I never kind of, and the way he was explaining was very interesting, like the same way you say now. And it was very interesting to hear, from a doctor, the explanation of that. 2 questions left. Ready?
Go ahead.
But before the next question, people watch the interview. As you've been already, as a doc, like the medicine fields. Now you are teaching now, and also you are already involved as well in the political fields and politics. What would be your best piece of advice for people watching the interview who like to start as a medicine course, as the politics field, and as a teacher as well? If you could give like advice for those people.
For medicine, I would say just really be sure this is what you want to do. What I experienced is that those people who really weren't sure and who had doubts from the very beginning, they didn't make it. It's stressful. It is just hard. It's a tough life, and you need to be sure that you want to do that. And even if you've graduated from medicine, like life doesn't get easier after. Even if you make money, this is a very stressful job with a lot of responsibility. So be sure if you're gonna make it. This is my experience, and I haven't met anybody who was convinced they want to do it and they're not succeeding. Like those people are succeeding. So if you're sure, you will make it. So for teaching, it's similar. Be sure you want to do it. Like just try. What I figured is that, now working at a school, most of them are trained teachers, and this is teaching is also about techniques and so on, and a little bit about knowledge, but it's more about selling it to the kids, and it's more about how you are. And especially, or again, it's just my experience, but if you're in middle school or the special type of school that I'm in 9th grade, it's really, what we talk about is not that hard. You really just need to try to reach them on a more personal level and try to teach them something for life. If this is what you want to do, then you're right in that job. If you really just do it for, I don't know, like the vacation time, which you really need, by the way, or for, just to have a secure job, basically, yeah, that's not it, because you're gonna do that for 30 years or more. So you really need to have a passion for doing that and for reaching people, and for exactly that one moment where you see, okay, I've reached that kid. This is what you do it for. You're not doing that to transport knowledge. Well, obviously that's your job, but yeah, this is not your mission. So there's two different things,
Yes.
When it comes to politics, I would quote a slogan of a brand. Just do it. Just do it. Just get involved. If you have something that you really want to do, just get involved. Like getting into politics was so easy in a very positive way. Like there isn't many people who have such strong convictions, and if you really have them and you burn for something and you want to change something, then do it. Just join a political group or an advocacy group or an NGO, whatever. Yeah, politics is a really broad field. But if there is something that you really committed to, just really find the right organization and join them and just be there. You don't have to become a member immediately, but just go to an event and talk to people, because usually, in my experience, people who are in politics, they want to talk to people. And not everybody is good. Sometimes they really just want to influence you in a very bad way, but many people really have good intentions. And that is true for many parties. And I've always been somebody who tried to be fair to also the competitors. And of the main parties, except for one in Austria, I must say they have lovely people. And I've really met from the other 4 parties. No, 3. I've met really great people who are also my friends and who really mean well. We might not agree on everything, but that's politics, This is we're there to discuss it and find a solution. But yeah, anyway, that's my advice for somebody who wants to be involved in politics. Just do it. Really, just go there. They are happy to talk to you. Trust me.
Thank you very much. Thanks for clarifying that. Thank you. Next question is, what is the best compliment have you ever received?
That I have ever received? I I get a lot of compliments for my eyes, which I think are not special at all.
Let me see your eyes closer. Oh.
They've been called deer eyes. So that's, yeah, okay. If people like him, sure.
It's because you're a Scorpio.
But other than that, it is probably, that was the superficial answer, obviously. But when people compliment my passion for what I do, and I mean, you also did that, but I do get that a lot, and it's just, good and reassuring to see that people see that this is not fake, because I love smiling, I love talking to people, love helping people, and it's not fake, it's not in my own interest. I love what I'm doing, I really do, and that people acknowledge that is something that really warms my heart.
And I must say, Basti, it's visible because, as I told you before, earlier on, when you're talking about politics, the way, you know what I mean, you're shining, your smile, your eyes, you're shining all around, talking about, it's visible, even though it's the first time I'm seeing you, I'm talking to you, but I totally believe you because it's visible, But I think everyone, when they talk about things that they like, things that they love, their passion, you know what I mean? You can see their eyes shining, it's visible, it's impossible to hide, you know what I mean? Because it's there, it's you, you can talk for 24 hours, no stop, because it's something about yourself. Don't need to be shy, just take it. Ready for the last question?
Yeah, sure.
Let's do it. Last one. Right, before the last question, those 2 years that the world went upside down regarding the COVID crisis, yeah? For you personally, what's the biggest positive impact that brought to your life, to your personal life? And also, what's the negative impacts that brought to your personal life, in your opinion?
Positive. I actually started my job during the pandemic, and because of the pandemic, I was looking for something new, and this came along, and a friend of mine asked me, and I just, it was just a good opportunity, and I also had the feeling that I would have an impact, because again, like, teaching during COVID times is even tougher. So that was a new challenge that I could take on, and that's something that I really liked. In terms of the negative aspects, it is probably, and that's compared to other people, that really isn't that much of an issue, but not traveling. Like, I do have friends, and also some family abroad, and not being able to visit was really hard and tough, and something that I don't want to go through again, because it's really sometimes, those Skype calls and Zooms and whatnot, it isn't the same. And just hugging someone that you really love again is, it's something that I don't want to go through again. Like, really wanting to hug someone, and you can't, and you see them, but they're not there physically, and or you don't know when you see them again, and everything is so uncertain. That is something that I really don't want to experience again. And speaking of which, like, uncertainty is the worst. Like, not knowing. We didn't know when this pandemic would end, and it still hasn't ended per se. It's uncertainty is something that humans are not made for. It's the same like in medicine. Like, getting bad news is better than not knowing. Like, having certainty that this is, I don't know, a bad disease, something serious. Hopefully it's treatable, but this is better than not knowing. That's always the worst. Not knowing. Uncertainty is something that I figured people in general, or humans, can deal with well, and me especially.
I heard once, sometimes, I totally agree with you, but saying that as well, sometimes I heard once that not knowing is a powerful place to be. Because sometimes not knowing can, but in a different way. I'm not talking about the COVID crisis or anything. I'm talking about sometimes when you find yourself in a situation that you don't know what's happening, but it's a powerful place to be, because it can come very like beautiful surprise that you're not expecting, or you can go in a path that you're not waiting or not expecting. So that's was just a comment that I would like to, it just came to my mind. Somebody mentioned that to me, but totally agree what you say. Last question. Let's do it. What is the biggest risk have you ever taken?
The biggest risk I've ever taken was actually quitting medicine. Like again, I did graduate, but I I've known it. I've just known it that I wouldn't follow that path, and I started studying something else on the side after 1 year of medicine. So it was kind of clear to me already, but it's also like being in med school and everything is kind of preset, and it's such a clear path, and you're leaving that and you don't know where you're going, because obviously going from med school into political science and politics is, again, it's also very uncertain, and it has been a risk. And even that, that's rather privileged, because honestly, like going from one academic field into another, that's not a big risk at all. But I think maybe I haven't taken that many risks in my life, or maybe they just don't really come to my mind. But again, I've always been very protected. So.
But this one's a big risk. My goodness, change a career like that, like studying. Did your mom support you at the time when you decided to change?
She did. The thing is that she still sometimes asks, like, okay, but you could still go back, right? And I'm like, yeah, I could, but I don't.
Oh.
Really. It's always, I was the first person in my family that ever studied. So, then being the first one and then studying medicine on the way to become a doctor, that's something that just was in her mind, and that's probably, hard to let go of. But I did tell her, and she was actually the very last person I told. Everybody else had known it already. And then, in some moment in June before graduation from med school, she was like, okay, and what? So what are you gonna do next? And I'm like, well, I'm doing politics now, or I'm doing European politics as a master's. And she, she said, like, yeah, that's fine. Like you find your way, and I'll support you. You know best what's good for you. And that is something that she's always said and also lived. And again, I know that she probably wasn't disappointed per se, but she just didn't see it coming. And I wasn't sure how she would react. Like I knew she would support me, but I still, still always this fear of disappointing someone you love was there. And yeah, but I did, and she supported me. She still supports me. We have a good relationship, so I'm very grateful for that, of course.
I think when she asked you in your graduation day, when she asked you, what's the next step now? You missed the opportunity to say, now I'm going to become the head of the European politician. None of you are going to be the head. Now, Mom, now I'm going to start my journey to become the heads of the European
president of Europe.
Yeah, the president of Europe, the heads of them. That's my journey now. And I'm sure when you get there one day, she's gonna go like, he was so right. Okay, Bastian, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking, okay?
Okay.
So, I hope you are enjoying the interview. Before we do the word association game, don't forget to give a like, don't forget to share this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just click on the button right there. Thank you so much and enjoy the word association game. Family.
Mom.
Money.
Car, for some reason.
One word for love.
Squid.
One word for life.
Europe. Yeah.
Sex.
Fun.
Politics.
Also fun.
Religion.
Important but private.
Fear.
None.
Friendship.
Not many, but very close ones.
Desire.
Desire. Food. I'm hungry.
Sorry to keep you awake. Regrets.
None.
Success.
Hopefully incoming.
Ooh, one word for wish.
For what?
Wish.
A wish. Happiness.
And one word for happiness.
Peace.
How about Vienna? One word.
Lovely.
Austria.
Gladly part of the European Union.
One word for teacher.
Empowerer.
Right. As you can see how passionate you are about politics. One word for Donald Trump.
I cannot say that. Not very intelligent person.
One word for Barack Obama.
Inspiring.
One word for Putin.
Yeah, I can't say that.
Right, so let's pretend now I'm going to meet your best friend for a coffee, yeah? And I'm going to ask your best friend, what is the most beautiful thing about Bastian? And what is something that he still needs to work on, to improve on? What your best friend would say?
What would they say? They would say that they love that I'm always so hopeful and optimistic. And they hate that I'm never on time, never. Except for work, of course.
That's why you're late for the interview today? I'm joking.
They don't need to know.
Let's play now Bastian and the magic box, and you can ask me a question. Right, so you can ask me a question now.
Anything?
Anything.
Anything? Worst sex experience, but maybe that's too personal. Maybe you don't want to share that.
If you ask me, I can tell you. Ask me.
Well, what was your worst intimate experience?
Okay. Oh my God, you put me in the spot. Yeah. Okay. That's okay. The worst sex experience I had. Right. Okay. The first thing that came to my mind is, yeah, it could be my fault. I don't know, but I'm gonna explain what happened. Yeah. Oh my God, I can't imagine I'm gonna say that, but anyway, just because it's you, okay, I'm gonna share that. Anyway, I was a few years ago. I met someone on this apps, you know, Grindr, those apps. So this person came along to my place, yeah, and this person came straight away, like, and it started want to kiss me straight away, like, and I couldn't because, you know, I need to have some connect. I don't know. I just felt a little bit like too fast. And this person looked at me, and this person said, "Why, you don't kiss?" And I was like, "I do, but you know, let's things, you know." And he just literally left. He just turned around and left. Oh, no. And he made me laugh. He made me laugh because I found it interesting. First, because, you know, I think it was my first because I understand, you know, people when they hook up, when they meet someone, you know what I mean? Of course, there's something starts, of course. And I took as a compliment as well, because maybe he felt like, okay, I want to kiss him straight away. But for me, it blocked me straight away. And I was expecting him to leave straight away, but I just couldn't. You know, the way he just came and he straight away just starts, like, you know, it's okay. I mean, I'm not saying that's wrong. You know, I can do that. I don't mind. If I would see someone like interesting as well, maybe I would do the same. But I don't know. I just felt a little bit like, you know, it was too fast, and I just blocked myself, and it didn't help anything. So yes, I would say that was one of the, let's say, the worst sex experience I ever had. I could go into others as well, more intimate, but maybe the next time when we talk.
Private.
In private, yeah, without the camera on, so we can talk and have a glass of wine, and I can tell you all the stories as well. But this one was one of the one that came to my mind. Then I just laughed. When he left, I just started laughing because the situation. But I felt a little bad as well because, you know, I just couldn't do it straight away. And like, actually, if I would just talk a little bit with him more, maybe I would be able to kiss, or, you know what I mean? It would happen something. But I think it was so, I don't know, I think he came too fast and he literally, you know what I mean? You know, when someone invades your space, like without you expecting, so that's blocked me straight away. And he just said, okay, bye, and he left. I was like, oh, it's okay. Okay, goodbye.
Oh, wow. Sorry you had to go through that, but you know.
Oh no. As I said, I found interesting, I found funny, and I found, I wasn't like you know, desperate, you know what I mean, for something, but you know, I just found interesting. I just found funny how the human being, how us can react to things. You know what I mean? It can happen to you know, so many things as well, and I think that he just made me laugh. He made me find how fascinating people can be. You know, I didn't see it as a bad thing, to be honest. I found funny, I found interesting, and I found you know, now I have a story to tell now, you know what I mean?
No. See, I love that you see the positive parts. I would be the same way, like you just need to see the positive part and laugh about it, especially. That's so important.
Oh yes, when he laughed, I didn't feel sad or anything. He literally made me laugh. I was laughing after. I was like, oh my God. That was very quick, like the situation. I just found funny, interesting. Bastian, did you have a good time? Did you enjoy the interview?
I did. I really did. It was great. I mean, again, I'm not very dancey. I know that. Apologies for that. But I did enjoy the questions very much.
Don't worry. Thanks so much for being kind and to take the time for the interview. I think nowadays we are so busy with our own lives that when someone take their time for ourselves, personally for me, I found very special because I know how busy we can be, how busy we are, you know what I mean? And we have our own lives as well, we have our things. But when someone take their time for you, for a project or for a time, we just spent an hour now talking, and it was enjoyable. And thanks so much for being kind and sweet. And I wish you all the best for your career. I can see here how much, you know, you're gonna get whatever you want to get now, because I can see how much you desire, how much you live in it, how much you believe it. And I think that's it's fascinating to see someone full of, you know what I mean, joy and drive to get somewhere where you want to be. But before you go, if you can share a positive message or a positive quote, something that inspires you in life.
Very cheesy again, but I don't know if it exists in English as well, but in German we have this saying, and it basically goes.
By the way, I'm sorry. Can you say in German first, and after you can say it in English?
Yeah, sure. Am Ende wird alles gut, und ist nicht alles gut, dann ist es nicht das Ende. So in the end, everything is fine, and if not everything is fine, it's not the end.
Amazing. Amazing. I love it. Bastian, it was a pleasure. And I see you in Vienna sometime soon. Okay, I see you in Vienna sometime. And when you come to London, please let me know. I would love to see you. And have you been in London before, by the way?
I have been a few times, and it's time to go again. Actually, I was 2 years ago before the pandemic, and I had an amazing time there. So can't wait to go again.
Please let me know, okay? I'd like to meet you.
I will.
Okay? Thank you so much. Enjoy your evening and keep in touch. Thanks for the interview.
Keep in touch.
Okay?
Bye.
Bye. Ciao.
See you.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.